What's up?
There we go. Hey, how friends? How are we doing?
Hey
How
guys,
friends?
Dan's
My friends?
here. It's Dan.
A wild Dan appears. Does Dan know that he has appeared? I don't think Dan knows that he's appeared.
Theoretically, I have speakers.
That's awesome. I think it's taking a
Hello.
picture right now. Uh-oh. I don't think.
Oh,
Oh.
bye, Dan.
Technical
He's like
difficulty.
these losers again.
Uh-huh. Yep.
Well, guys, what's new?
Let's see, what is new? I'm celebrating my 2-year anniversary at my new job today.
Woo!
Yeah.
Congrats.
Yeah,
Congrats.
thank you. It's very cool. I'm very happy.
Is that a banana shirt?
Oh, yes.
There's always a okay, gotcha.
Always money in the banana stand. Yeah,
There's mine the banana stand.
exactly. Yeah. What's new with y'all?
Loads. Well, I watched all of Bridgerton this morning, the new season cassette drop, but only 4 episodes.
Oh, okay. I was like, wow, that must be a lot.
No, I didn't do any work. Hello, Dan.
Yeah, let's try that again.
I don't know. It's pretty great the first time.
Was it though?
Yeah.
Was it?
It was.
It
From
was.
our perspective, it was.
I
Yeah.
expected more lead time, Andrew. I blame you. Like you didn't count me in or nothing.
That wasn't
It
me,
was me.
actually.
I did it.
Yeah.
I saw you, and I just
Yeah.
too bad. We're already live. No,
Yep.
Already live. You joined live.
Hey,
But
Aiden.
we-
Hey, James.
We can totally do the Wayne's World next time.
Yeah. We should talk about what's new. What's everybody into? What's everybody watching?
I mean, I did my part for this and finished X-Men 97.
Ah,
I didn't know it was part of
One
it.
more.
I was busy watching Superman, so I'm sorry.
One. I have 4 days. That's it. I'm caught up besides that.
yep.
What about new Doctor Who?
Ooh, I am caught up on that actually.
Oh,
I'm not, but go ahead and talk. I'm okay with
We're not missing much yet.
spoilers on that.
I don't know.
What do you think, Dan?
Uh,
Non-spoiler. What are your thoughts so far?
So, non-spoiler, one, I realized I missed and at the same time did not miss Russell T. Davies.
Yeah,
Mm,
In the sense that, like, I missed some of the whimsy and joy, and didn't miss so much like silly for silly's sake.
yeah.
I actually really enjoyed the second episode with the maestro and the
Oh, the Beatles.
just the like we are telling a fantasy story now.
Yeah,
And with obviously not swords and sorcery, but with just fantastical elements beyond the fantastical elements that we already accept in Doctor Who, that they're traveling in time and space, bigger on the inside, yada yada yada. But I thought that I enjoyed it. So
Yeah. How'd you feel about the babies?
again, I would put that into silly for silly's
It was
sake.
very silly.
Yeah. Cute little story with a mystery that like is
It's odd. It's
odd and the whole sympathy for the monster part of it, like it's just kind of like, huh.
Yeah.
But Tina's mad about Doctor Who.
She did
She's
not.
having some connectivity issues.
Oh, all of us. And then the other thing that just got me was like the the space baby story should have been called Space Exposition Babies, because there was more explainy time in that than I have ever seen in any Doctor Who. And I don't know if they're trying to make that a characteristic of this Doctor, that he's just very forthcoming
Yeah.
with everything, or what. But like, it felt like we've decided to make a jumping on point for new people. As opposed to just being a story that doesn't require a whole lot of background knowledge. And that's good and bad. I mean, I really like the Doctor, and
I like him a lot. I think Ncuti is good. Well, apparently it's pronounced Ncuti, but he didn't even know that until he was like 26, and his mom corrected him. But I like him a lot still as a Doctor.
I like him a lot. I like Ruby Sunday a lot. So far so good with like chemistry and things like that. So I mean, it was one of those where I was watching it and Lori was in the room and Warren came in a couple of times and I was like, yeah, I'm watching this thing. It's really, really silly.
Were you
it felt like old Buffy Baby's days,
judge me by this scene.
Well, that's what I feel like when I'm bringing in someone to watch Doctor Who, and then we start off with the episode of like the first episode of I guess 8th Doctor, right? Or 9th Doctor?
Rose?
Eccleston. Yeah. And you get that glassy face. It's just like, this is what it is.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, it's obviously so much higher budget now, but like it's higher budget, but the same level of silly effects.
Yeah.
I mean, so yay, I guess.
See how it goes.
Yeah. So we'll see. I'm enjoying it so far.
Good. Yeah, I mean, I'm here for it regardless. Yeah, it's just nice to be back.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if we talked about this, and if we did, I apologize. I went back before the new specials and caught up with like all of everything because I dropped off. I dropped off before Flux.
Yeah.
And like I really actually enjoyed all of that. I mean, I wasn't really enjoying it at the time, which was why I kind of dropped off. It was just like
I did too.
That had turned the dial too far the other way, away from silly and to kind of always depressing all the time.
Yeah.
But like watching it all together, it was more of you could see the story develop better and easier than I think watching it one by one. So it just didn't feel, so I don't know. And I mean, I have other thoughts, but like, I've been droning on like since I joined the show. So like somebody else.
Yeah, Ken, it sucks for Ncuti, and I knew this would happen anyways. It's a mixture, right? Because he's black and gay, and like, there's gonna be Doctor Who fans that are really upset about it, and that's not for them anymore. I'm just like it, and you miss the whole point of the Doctor. If
you know what I will say that I really like with 3 dedicated 15 stories.
Yeah.
Is that 15 does not seem to have a dedicated costume.
Oh yeah, he's always switching it up.
Yeah.
Which is nice.
I like that.
Yeah.
He actually changes clothes. So
he's not a cartoon character?
Yeah, exactly. He's got multiple
fun.
Models. Somebody took the time to draw multiple models of the 15th Doctor.
And changing for the time periods of just being like,
which is novel for Doctor Who.
Yeah, because usually the companion has to change by him.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. I'm definitely gonna check it out. Like I've been in a Doctor Who drought for a long time. Like I just kind of like fell off. I actually fell off back in the Capaldi days, and just like never picked it back up. And I keep meaning to. One of these days I will. But
also depressing. Like,
Yep.
even the silly is depressing, kind of with the Capaldi era. And
Sure.
I love some of those stories, but his last arc is tough.
It is.
Oh
tough.
yeah. Okay.
So
I will be prepared for that.
I
Fair
love
enough.
him. Oh, curmudgeon.
yeah,
That's great.
Yeah, I remember him being one of your favorites.
Yeah. it's one of my favorites.
I'll answer your question in a second, but first, hi Rob.
Hi, Rob.
Hello, how y'all doing?
hi Rob.
Good.
We're good. How you doing, man?
Good to see you. Good to see you. Busy. Whew. Who knew video games were hard work? I thought you just play them.
That's what I do.
They're not it.
You're doing it wrong.
Apparently, I'm doing it wrong.
I've been writing video games all day with ChatGPT. It's pretty easy. I don't understand what's taking you so long.
Yeah,
Oh, we
now
don't
with the
know
new
that.
ChatGPT, you just say write video game, and it just does it. Right? You don't
and then
even have to type right.
And then it flirts with me really creepily. Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, you trying to play a video game, honey? I'd love to play games. Yeah.
Let's see.
As an experiment, I did try hey, ChatGPT. This is ChatGPT 3, so not the new 4 model that they can feel emotions. I was like, all right, make a description of a Texas Chainsaw Massacre game, but a Texas Chainsaw Massacre film, but a video game. And the thing that it spit out was actually not bad. It was with a little bit of bedazzling, it might have done it, but it was good enough to where I was like, I don't know how I feel about all this.
Fair enough.
Is bedazzling a proprietary process, or is that something anyone can do at home? Do you need special equipment?
There you go. I didn't fear for my job because, as you might guess, I wrote a lot of. Me and my creative director, we wrote most of the game, but I didn't feel for my job. But it was like,
Mm-hmm. Fair.
yeah, as a tool to come up with ideas, it's not terrible.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's not terrible.
Yes, absolutely.
What are y'all drinking?
Water.
Water.
I am drinking a little West 6 light lager
Okay.
in my West 6 cup
West Six
glass.
glass. And what are you drinking?
Hemisphere.
Prickly pear. I am drinking 1792 bottled in bond.
Ooh,
It's nice. It's nice.
that's
Bond means the government had to make sure that you people didn't dilute the booze.
It's exactly 100 proofs.
Exactly.
So I was
Us
at
being from Kentucky, this is all native things. You come out of the womb and you understand the bourbon process. My first word was charred white oak barrel.
All right. Yeah.
I was at a wedding last weekend, and they had it was an open bar or whatever, and they had old fashions, but they were pre-mixed. They weren't bad, but they were so sugary. I should not have had 3 of them, but I did. Yeah, I'm pretty sure at the end of the night, I did not have a hangover. I had a sugar headache.
No, I was gonna say I want to tell you. You know what? I'm going to share my secret. I make a pretty daggone good old fashioned, if I may say so myself. I call it the $17 old fashioned for $3.99. But my secret for my old fashioned, I'm going to tell you streamers. Here we go. I just used 2.5 ounces of a good bourbon. So I don't know if I'd use 1792 because this is good to drink by itself, but Bullet rye or Bullet barrel proof or something like that. Something that's decent. Or Woodford or things like Tina! I'm talking about booze. I know you're shocked. So I use 2.5 ounces of that, and then I use my simple syrup, which is 1 cup of water and 1 cup of sugar. You can roast it, but the secret ingredient here it is. I put 1 cinnamon stick and 1 vanilla bean in my little squeezy for my simple syrup, and it gives all this extra cinnamon and vanilla flavor. So, then I also use the fancy Luxardo fancy Maraschino cherries, and it's a fantastic old fashioned. So you're welcome.
Interesting. All right, I look forward to having one of these the next time I'm over at your place.
Yeah, you come over to my house, or you tell me, hey, bring your accoutrements, and I'll absolutely make you the $17 old fashioned for $3.99.
I love it. You're
dressed like Tifa, or Aerith. You're dressed like Aerith.
What?
You look like you're dressed like Aerith because I see a red sweater.
No, it's my work outfit.
Oh, okay.
I'm dressed as a secretary. I got my hair up.
Hey, quit ruining my vibe, Tina.
I'm boring.
Tina, what's new? What you been into?
Let's see. What Like, as you know, my recent obsession is Epic, the concept album, like musical.
Yeah.
So I've been obsessed with that, playing it 24/7.
Oh, explain that to our friends here.
To the eyebrows.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So basically, this guy, and I think it's, I can't remember his name. I'm sorry. It's like
It's
Jorge
something.
Yes.
He's got 3 names.
He's
Jorge
got
something.
3 names, as you do. But he's created this concept album on basically the Odysseus. And he's released albums, kind of like little segments after a couple of years, to kind of drum up support, kind of hopefully turn it into a musical. And it is amazing.
It's really good.
It is so good. I need you guys to listen to it. Drop everything. If you haven't heard of this, go look it up.
What is it about? What is the subject matter?
Odysseus.
It's the Odyssey. So
it's the Odyssey.
Okay, sorry, you totally said that. My bad. Okay, got it.
No, like there's like a section of this where like they have like the Cyclops saga.
So it starts out with Troy.
Saga.
So he first released the Troy saga, which is of course the Trojan horse. That whole story.
That's
of
my favorite
Helen.
one of the releases.
Really, the very beginning.
Yeah.
There's also the Cyclops. So Polythesis, I think is his name, is one-eyed. There's also the Circe, which is my favorite, and then the most recent one that he dropped back in April was the Underworld, which is amazing. Like, there's Cyclops is probably the weakest area. Like, I get what's going on there. I get that it has to happen. But the music is amazing. The characters are well fleshed out, thought of, stuff that I would never imagine delving into the character or his imagination for the characters, like making them very like sympathetic characters. Because Odysseus, like if you really think about it, Odysseus is kind of an ass.
He's a fuck boy. Let's be real.
Well, yeah, but he makes some of these characters that are hideous, amazing.
Did you read the book Circe, by the way?
Yeah, so I've gone through and I've
Circe.
read the Song of Achilles, Circe. I'm reading Clemestris now. I read Psyche and Eros. So I'm just going through and reading.
Are you gonna play hate? I feel like you should. Yeah.
Have you considered reading the Odyssey?
I've read the Odyssey so many times.
No, there's a new translation done. I heard it was really good by a woman, and like there's some
really
differences.
New translation of the
original
Odyssey?
Translation.
It's a bit more modern.
Bit more modern. Okay, yeah. Like, I mean, if you're an AP, like if you took AP classes in like high school, you of course had to read the Odyssey.
Yeah, it's over there.
You had to read excerpts from.
Yeah, I don't think we ever. I don't think we
read
actually.
the entire thing.
Scarlet Letter.
We
had to read like the Odyssey. What is it? Beowulf. Beowulf is probably my favorite.
We read excerpts from the Odyssey in 9th grade, Andrew, in Miss Nemeth's class.
Oh yeah, I did that.
Oedipus Rex. I had to read Oedipus Rex. That was a nightmare.
I think we were in a lot of the same reading like groups, apparently, Tina, because I read all these things too.
Yeah.
Did you say Ethan Frome?
Yeah.
Yeah, I read that too.
I remember
now
that.
in college, I took LGBT lit, so.
Oh, they had that? That's cool.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Like the Persian Boy, Well of Loneliness. There's certain things we had to read.
I definitely recommend Circe if anyone's looking to read more. Like,
yes,
it's just about Circe. It's told from a point of view. It's very verbose, but so good. I haven't started Song of Achilles yet, but I love.
I liked Song of Achilles much better than Circe.
Well, you got the romance. Circe's like.
That's true, but
it's not going to go well for her.
No, it's not. We all know how that ends. We all know how Cassandra ends. We all know how this all ends. It's just
now you can watch the movie Troy. Have you guys watched that anytime recently?
No.
Movie?
Is that a thing?
Yes.
Yeah, with Brad Pitt.
Mm-hmm.
And
Orlando. I do. Okay, I do remember what you're talking about. Yes.
I want to tell you guys what I watched last night.
Eric Bana, wasn't it, as Hector?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe.
So
Maddie, what did you watch last night?
And for the first time ever, I watched Superman.
Hey, like Superman, Christopher Reeve, Superman.
Yeah, never seen it before, and I'm a huge Superman fan of the comic books. And when I tell you this was an experience, I love this movie. This was made for women, I feel like, because the interview scene where Superman goes over to talk to Lois Lane, and they're flirting on the rooftop. Dead. Sarah and I, Andrew's wife, we just both look at each other like, is this man real? It's such a good. Oh my god! Like how can people like modern movie versions of Superman when they're done so poorly in comparison? But this is the perfect one. Ellie and I talked about forever about how Superman should be written when they bring him back when James Gunn does it. Like, oh my god!
I mean to be an old man, get off my lawn. But yeah, these old movies are still really good. Superman's a great film. Yep.
His acting was perfect because like you really have to know how to act as Clark Kent because that's who Superman is as his heart. Like, there's this great scene in the comic books in Rebirth where it's Wonder Woman and Batman and Superman sort of meeting for the first time. And she has them all hold the lasso of truth and ask them who they are. And Superman says, I'm Clark Kent. And Batman says, I'm Batman. Because that's their truth. Batman is himself when he is Batman. Bruce Wayne is not where he's comfortable. Yeah. And Superman doesn't feel like that title. He feels like Clark Kent. And if you do it differently in the movies, you're wrong. There's got to be a balance between the two.
Yeah.
Oh, so good. James, we are going to watch it. I'm going to watch all of them. I'm obsessed. He's my phone background. I'm having a moment.
I think that happened even before you left the house, right? Like we were.
Well, I downloaded a photo and Elliot tried to make fun of me, so I didn't do it until the next day.
Don't let him shame you. You rock your.
And then I found the interview scene on YouTube to send it to Sarah. So I was like, you want to rewatch this too? Here you go.
Nice. If you want to see something wholesome, YouTube, Dorito, Saturday Night Live, Christopher Reeve Superman interview. It's funny and it's like actual Christopher Reeve and SNL, and like he's like trying to get the part for Superman. It's good. It's good.
Also, his appearance on the Muppet Show was pretty damn good.
Oh yeah.
Well,
yes.
I'm
recently. The girls have been on a Muppet
ready.
kick. Yeah.
The hyperfixation is like creeping in.
Yeah, so Matt, open the tab right now. Type in SNL's Christopher Reeve Superman. You'll love it.
Now to answer,
hey, Rob, we're working out, man. We're ready. You gonna be MagFest next time? It's good.
Nice. To answer James and Newspoo's question about Superman 2. Yeah, so Maddie, I don't think we talked about it too much last night, but there are two versions of Superman 2.
Oh, because because the guy was let go halfway, right? So
Richard Donner, the director for Part 1, he was fired, or they parted ways. They did not get along anyway. So so the original theatrical release of Superman 2 is very different from the original kind of vision for Richard Donner. But then in like the early 2000s, I think, he released his director's cut, which is kind of rough around the edges, especially because, like I think I mentioned this, like not all of the scenes were filmed. You know, he shot a lot of the stuff before they fired him. And so then when he came back to do his director's cut, he restored a lot of the footage he shot, but like not all of the stuff he wanted to shoot had been shot. So I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly, 1 or 2 scenes in the director's cut are really just like rough cut, like rehearsal scenes that happen to be filmed or something like that.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I am open to both. Yeah, I'm open to opinions here. What should we watch? Which one should she watch first? I've seen them both, and I grew up with them both, so I don't know.
Having seen them both, I believe she should watch the theatrical version first, and then watch the Richard Donner cut. But you should definitely watch both.
I agree.
You agree? All right.
Yes.
All right. There we go.
I mean, because, and two, I mean, you know, as we've already said on the show before, watching the Richard Donner cut is kind of like watching Superman 1 again. In a lot of ways.
Yeah.
So if you watch that right after you watch Superman 1, you're kind of like, huh.
That's a good point.
Superman has one trick.
Yeah.
That's fair. Yep. That's a very good point. Also, so Sarah and I we've been doing this thing a lot lately as we've been watching all the different Star Trek series. We've been going to IMDb and looking up the trivia after each episode. So now we're doing it for movies too. So I started going through the trivia for Superman last night, and I eventually got through it all. But one thing, as I was going through the page, I completely spaced on the fact that Mario Puzo wrote the script for this thing. Mario Puzo, the scriptwriter for The Godfather. Yeah.
Oh.
Mario and Luigi. Okay.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
you took that one thing over yesterday because he was trying to get other people to be in it. People that were
Yeah.
the Godfather, like, I'm not going to wear that silly suit.
Yeah. Now, granted, the final script is nowhere near his script, from what I understand. Like, his was really epic, and then there was a rewrite by some folks, and then I think Richard Donner came in and said, "Whoa, we're rewriting some of that shit too." But I would be very interested. I haven't looked yet, so maybe I'll do some digging at some point. But if somebody happens to know where I can find the original Mario Puzo script, I would kind of love to read that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Someone's in like a YouTube deep dive video essay.
That's kind of what I'm hoping for. Yes. I would love to find that. That would be very interesting. Anyway, I'm super glad that you liked it. As I explained to Maddie last night, I grew up with this movie, and it like completely defined my childhood and honestly a lot of my adulthood. Wanting to be Superman, wanting to embody every bit of it, having some strange coincidental similarities that I realized as a kid, but then a lot more as an adult. Yeah. It is, and it's like in my top 5 movies of all time. So yeah, that's
so good.
Cool.
I'm super happy that you enjoyed it.
Loved it.
Yeah. And if anybody else here, I know Dan's seen it, and I know Rob's seen it. Tina, have you seen Superman? Okay, that's what I saw.
Yeah, I kind of grew up with it. Like it would show on like CBS, like the movie, when they used to play movies so often.
Yeah.
They probably still do. We just don't have cable.
Right.
There's still over-the-air TV and cable TV. This is still a thing.
Yeah, I'll watch random movies at the hotel, but honestly, if I'm at a hotel, I'm watching Forensic Files. I'm watching murder shows.
Oh, that's definite.
Can we talk about this for just a second?
Yeah.
Like, my wife, who is not into like, I'm going to watch and stream and all this thing. That's not her. She's not a sit and like watch everything all in one time. But she loves murder shows. Like she loves like, what's the guy's name? John somebody on Discovery Plus. There's a guy who's like a murder specialist, and she'll sit and watch 3, 4, 5, 6 of these in a row. She's binging them straight up. Like, is this a thing?
It's a white woman
thing that women do.
Women.
And I'm like I'll come in, like she's eating lunch and like she's like, be quiet, like this murder's going on. But like she doesn't like these things. Like, but she is absolutely enthralled. And I have to be quiet when she's watching them. Fascinating.
That's how my sisters and I like spend time together when we see each other. Like
the first 48, hands down, one of my favorite shows.
Good.
Oh, wait. I guess she
Case
hears me
Files.
talking. She just said Joe Kenda.
Joe Kenda.
I guess she can hear me talking or she's watching the stream. Hey, babe, Joe Kenda is the one that she watched. And she also says, don't interrupt my murder mystery. She gets missed. I guess she's over there and she can hear me talk about this. That's funny.
Tina and I went all the way to like Atlanta for a true crime podcast live show.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Meant to buy tickets for Tennessee, bought them for Atlanta instead, and we just did a trip.
Honestly, it was great.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah, I love Forensic Files. I think it's because like it's kind of like the same feeling watching horror movies and stuff too, where it's just like, I think part of me just wants to know all the bad things that can happen,
so you can be prepared.
So I can be prepared.
I would go out of town for trips, and like she could watch like scary movies, like supernatural stuff, and that wouldn't bother her. But she couldn't watch like CSI and real things. She'd actually get freaked out. So like real life, admittedly understandable, scares her rather than like supernatural stuff. I get it.
Yeah, that's kind of interesting that you say that. Like movies that you watch when your spouse isn't around because they don't like stuff. Like, what's the thing that you gravitate to when your spouse is not around?
That's a good question for everybody. That feels like a panel video kind of question.
Like Doctor Who.
Doctor Who looks like me? Like, wait, he's beautiful. He's of the same color as me.
Yeah, mine is horror movies and rom-coms usually.
Mine's definitely going to be like kind of spookier and or cerebral stuff because I like watching that stuff late at night. I like watching that stuff super late at night and like possibly having it completely invade my dreams. That is the exact opposite for her. So no, that doesn't happen. No.
Dan?
Yeah.
What do you watch when your spouse isn't around?
Doctor Who, stuff like that. I mean, stuff like X-Men, the geeky stuff. That's what I watch.
The geeky stuff. She doesn't watch that stuff with you.
Well, she watches it occasionally, but she, like that's my stuff.
Oh, gotcha. Anything violent. My wife will not watch anything violent, and I love war movies. So I love anything World War I, World War II. I'm into it. She will not watch those. So like Band of Brothers, one of my favorite.
Oh, I love
shows.
Band of Brothers.
Yeah.
Like, will not watch anything like Tank. What is it? There's a bunch of like a lot of what History Channel used to be, like basically World War II.
Mm-hmm.
You guys remember how good History Channel was?
Yep.
Man.
Oh.
Now it's just ancient aliens.
Oh yeah. Yeah. So murder mysteries, that kind of thing. Anything super violent or like horror.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. I guess for me, it's so like I like to watch stand-up comedy, but she doesn't like stand-up comedy that has a lot of language. So like I'll watch like The Roasting of Tom Brady or Cat Williams or things like that. I'll watch that when she's asleep. And also like you, Dan, some of the really nerdy things like X-Men. Like she doesn't care about X-Men, so I'll watch stuff like that. Or I watch, and I love this, I love it so much, The Gaming Historian, where he spends 2 hours talking about the Oregon Trail. Like she's like, okay, I'll take that back. She liked the Oregon Trail one, but like there's some of these, she's like,
he posted that fairly recently, didn't he?
Yeah. The Oregon Trail one is
I
haven't
haven't seen
watched
that
that
one.
one.
So like language filled like stand up comedy, and really nerdy things, and then really nerdy things. That's it.
Love it. I love that channel too. That is such a fantastic channel.
I do love all these like YouTube channels having video essays now.
Yeah.
There's nothing like just that you're like, all right, 2 hours. Because like, and I really miss Jenny Nicholson's one of my favorite ones, but she like posts very rarely. But she did like 4 hours on that D&D inspired park Evermore. 4 hours, and I love
now that it's finally gone.
Yeah, and of course, like the hour and a half one on the Easter place, which we haven't watched this year. The movie inspired Easter plays where somebody gets crucified, like Luke Skywalker,
or Waluigi.
It's so good.
Speaking of essay channels, I will recommend Patrick Willems, Willems. He does essays on films. He's like a big film buff. And he does essays on like he'll tackle like sometimes individual films, but a lot of times just like different eras or themes or whatever. But I also especially love it. He gives me a pretty strong old school near mint condition vibe because he always mixes in like a little bit of like kind of a dramatic intro skit into his videos, and then like it weaves in and out throughout the essay at little points. And there's like an overarching narrative that has nothing to do with the essays and is absolutely absurd, but it's great. Love
what
that.
The heck is botcom?
Yeah, exactly.
This is a good one that I watch if you're into like really deep dives into like obscure like Japanese culture or anime and games. So they talk about like odd like Zentai suits and like animego like kigs and stuff like that. That's my type of thing, like the creepy crawly like kind of underbelly of Japanese culture and media.
Nice.
Guys, I think we're missing the best one, which is Ted
Send me a few of those, Tina.
Nivison, who does the one a guy went to like all the rainforest cafes and all of the Margaritavilles and watched 42 Barbie films in 1 week to try to figure out what the whole entire lore was. Incredible.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, his friend
Barbie film
is the one that I usually watch.
What? Oh, wait, you said his friend?
Yeah, the one that he went with.
Oh, Eddie Burback.
Yes.
I also love Eddie Burback. He's so good. But
okay, got it.
Those two, if you need a good time, just watch him, go through all of it.
Someone was ready to go.
Sorry, yep. Autoplay
I do want
trailers.
to say,
I love them.
If you guys haven't been watching anything from Dropout, you've got to at least start watching their stuff on YouTube. It's this like streaming service now. It's like $6 or whatever, but it's all these different shows made by improv comedians. Service. I will. Anyone can use mine or come over and watch it at any point. All of their shows, they're starting to put out more and more shows.
Okay.
It's a streaming service I would never, if I could only keep one streaming service, it'd be this one. The amount of content they're giving me and how well they pay all of their talent generally. And they have so many different shows. Their new show, Smarty Pants, has come out weekly or bi-weekly, is people doing like PowerPoints about weird things, like which cartoon characters are invited to the cookout, like which cryptids would be the chillest to blaze with. Vegetables don't exist. Like goofy things.
Oh, kind of like the sexiest Castlevania.
Yeah, and they have like Game Changer, where it's a game show, but it changes every time, so they don't know what it's going to be when they go in. It's so creative. And then of course, actually, which is like Jeopardy, but they give you a fact that's wrong, and you have to correct it.
Nice.
So everything's coming out.
Actually,
it's so good.
What is Dimension 20? What Fantasy High Dimension 20 Junior Year? That's one here,
okay. So Dimension 20 is their series of like actual play TTRPGs.
Okay.
You can watch them for free on like YouTube. Some of the earlier ones. Fantasy High is so good.
Okay.
Brendan Lee Mulligan, Andrew, you should watch him. He's one of the best DMs ever, and it's edited. So unlike Critical Role, it's like 4 hours, right? This is run by improv comedians. It's edited. They have a lot of like visuals. So good.
I will check it out.
And funny. Anyways,
yeah, I'm looking at
that's
it now.
my bit.
Cool. Very, very cool.
Am I playing anything?
Ooh.
I'm replaying Hades because
Hades 2?
Not Hades 2. I'm not playing just yet. I wanted to replay Hades a couple times because I never.
Some of us have to wait for the console version to come out because we're gonna get carpal tunnel from trying to play on it.
I'm not gonna play on the PC. Like my coworker is like, "Oh, Hades 2 is great." I was like, "Did you play 1?" And he's like, "No." I'm like, "I'm replaying 1."
He didn't play 1?
No, he hasn't played 1. He plays like Minecraft and stuff.
Oh.
Hey, don't hate on Minecraft. It's on sale. Apparently, it's like the 10-year anniversary of Minecraft, so all this Minecraft.
I'm not hitting on it because like he's trying to make that his bread and butter, and I was like, more power to you, man. If you want to be a YouTube like streamer, and stuff, you're gonna like. He wants to be a Minecraft player. I was like, you're gonna have to really power through it because people already made their buck on that.
Especially Minecraft.
Yeah, especially Minecraft. So that's kind of like a pony that's already run its shop, but you try because you could still make it. Who knows?
Yes. That's still a thriving community, and like the actual creators are still like producing tools and things
which
like that.
Which is amazing. It's been over a decade.
Yeah.
Like guy's been playing it since it's 9, and I was like, "Oh, you're a baby," and he's like 26 now.
Yeah, like I said, like it's his 10-year anniversary, and they're like pumping all this Minecraft stuff. It's neat.
I know,
cool.
it's crazy. I've also been playing Dave the Diver.
Oh, so good.
That's so good. That's such a great game.
Guys, it's great. It's pixeled, and you're just a diver that works at this sushi bar, and you have to go get all the fish and bring it back, but also help make the sushi.
Mm-hmm.
It's great.
Like
it's fantastic.
It hits so many like kind of side scrollers / time management / like just management resource gathering. Like it hits these little dockets in just the right amounts.
Absolutely. Have you played Animal Well?
Oh no, I haven't. People are talking about it. Oh, I'm not big. It's Metroidvania, right? I'm not big into.
So what is this?
Animal Well.
Cool. Yeah.
Animal
so it is. Yeah, Matt, if you want to talk about it, go ahead.
I know nothing. Some people I've listened to on podcasts talked about. I just know it's Metroidvania.
So it's a very wholesome Metroidvania with animals. And if you don't, this is the thing, man. I know you just said that you're not a Metroidvania kind of fan. However, the way it's done, it is Metroidvania, but it's like light Metroidvania.
Okay.
So it's very approachable. It's very approachable. It's in early access, I believe. So I would recommend checking it out, and it's inexpensive. It's like $20, whatever. Like, try it.
Or you could play
It's probably the best game of 2024. And keep in mind, Final Fantasy.
Best game of 2024.
Yeah, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is right there.
The visuals are interesting from what I'm seeing.
So is Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth, Rob.
Okay, there's 3. All right, so those 3 games are the games of 2024.
Okay, that's fine.
Oh, and of course, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre game of 2024.
And Aiden Chronicles is really good, but there's a lot of bugs, so I can't.
Yeah.
That's okay. It's kickstarted.
Yeah. Like, development is hard.
In it. It's Beyblade.
Development is hard. Making games is hard.
Andrew, you said you were about to say something. What have you been playing?
Oh, so it's not so much what I have been playing. I got two things. I'm going to pull a Rob here and say two things. It's what I've been watching, which is Sarah has been playing. Well, she went ahead and finished it. Little Kitty, Big City, or Big Kitty.
Yeah, I was talking about that.
I don't remember, one of the two. That's amazing. I watched her play it, and that is a fun game. She was like super happy, but also super sad when she beat it because she's like, "This is it. That's all there is."
It's so cute.
I think she might actually be replaying it right now as we speak.
Because it's just like the cat gets out of its house, right? It's trying to get back into it, but it's like it's like an apartment.
Yeah. I really, oh my gosh, the mechanics of just like capturing just the little movements that cats do, like when it's trying to like knock over the plants on the wall, like on the windowsills or whatever. Just it was very accurate and very endearing. I loved it. And then the other thing that I've not been playing, I've not been watching, but I've been slowly kind of looking into, and I would like to get your all's opinion on this. All right. Y'all know I'm not a hardcore gamer at all. I haven't done PC gaming in probably 20 years. Yeah. All right. But I was talking to a coworker the other day. So I was at work talking about how like one of my lifelong goals is to go into space or whatever. And he said, well, in the meantime, you could play this game called Elite Dangerous Odyssey. And he said, if you play it on VR, it's pretty dang awesome.
I know what you're talking about. Ooh.
Yeah. Okay.
So, I have played this.
Yeah.
I have played this. And you know, there are some times in your life where your jaw hits the floor and it changes how you perceive certain video games. One of those games, for example, was Half-Life Alyx. It's like, oh my gosh, this is how first-person shooter can be. This thing that you're talking about, I'm in this, and I'm literally in space, in planets, looking around, and I was like, holy, this is what the original Oculus, so there's a previous version. Yeah. It blew my freaking mind. Like, this is what this technology can be. I can actually be in these places and look at these things that I would never be able to see, like, very easily. Like, going to space, looking at Saturn's rings, looking at Jupiter's moons. Holy cow.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. See how excited I am?
Yes. I'm so happy to hear this because this is what I was hoping for. Because, he started to describe.
That's 1, 2, or 3.
Now, see, this is the thing. I do not have a VR headset. I do not even have a PC to game on.
Yeah.
Oh, so you gotta make the jump then.
I was gonna say, I don't know if it's on the Quest.
It's not.
Quest 2 is cheap, and Quest
you
3
seem like the type though that would get really into building a PC.
I could. I mean, I did it. I did it a long time ago. Rob and I used to do it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That was our
Dan and I. Yep.
Okay, that's a good question. I don't know if this thing's on the Quest.
And film it, but put it in like a weird case. Like people that take like the old PC cases and put like a nice PC in it.
Yeah. Dude, we built PCs before you could order shit on the internet.
What?
Before Newegg.
We had to drive to Louisville to buy case housings for computers we were putting together because there just wasn't a place that sold that shit in Lexington.
That's so cool.
Next you'll be like, back in my day, Alienware was the best thing ever.
Oh my gosh, you have a pair. I'm turned on. My nipples are hard. Check it out.
Mayhaps if I build one, I'll put it in.
Had one, yeah. I still have that up in the attic.
Tina, I will buy it from you. I will give you cash right now. Here.
This is super old Mac. Okay, so so I'm going to be hitting you all up for advice on this because, again, you know me, I don't do a whole lot of gaming, and like that's a lot of money to sink into a game. I'm thinking like coming from outside the realm of having.
So you'll have to get Baldur's Gate also, and then.
Well, I mean, I'm very.
And
here's the thing.
Bully Dan, and we bully him so much until he gets it.
Here's the thing. I'm especially interested in VR stuff.
Buy me a PC.
I mean, there's that.
Baldur's Gate is on like PlayStation, Xbox.
Yeah, I have it on PlayStation.
Yeah. Dan doesn't have any of those.
Well, Rob has like 6 Xboxes. He can just get
I do. I got an Xbox right here.
Oh, hey, Rob. So you've played this. Maybe you know. Nice. Yeah, because Elite Dangerous Odyssey is only on PC. It was going to be released on PlayStation and Xbox, but they canceled those. but the original Elite Dangerous is on Xbox. So I suppose I could just like buy that because I do have an Xbox One. I could buy that just to try it out and see if I'm going to like it, and that would be kind of, sort of.
No,
what the experience
like in your peripheral. So you're looking. So you're doing like this. You're going.
Right.
Jesus.
Bro was like, I'm going to shut you down right there because no.
Also, I love that News Pooey's last PC game they played was You Don't Know Jack.
Yes. Yes.
That's
I think I still have copies.
It's on phones now.
Of You
It's
Don't
on
Know Jack.
phones. Like everybody Switch or whatever. Like everyone log in. Like yeah, we totally.
Back
do
in my day, we had LAN parties where you carried your PC to a friend's house, chugged that big ass thing, set it down. You're like, we're gonna play.
Yep.
See, I never had to do that.
Duke Nukem 3D.
Yep. Dan and I went to a few of those.
Unreal Tournament. Unreal and Unreal Tournament. Do you remember, Andrew? You were in the office and we were at Data Bean. I had the correct version of, I think it was Unreal Tournament on the Dreamcast, or maybe it was Quake 3. And we were able to play like on the Dreamcast and PC together for lunch.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I do remember that. Oh, that's not the camera I wanted. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I remember. Yeah, Tina, I totally remember the LAN parties. I mean, LAN, right? Not even wireless. Bring all your stuff in.
I don't even know how that. Oh, okay. Can I admit something? Because I never had friends to do that with. How does that work?
I went to computer camp, Maddie. Like
computer camp. That's so cool.
What is?
Andrew's like, I didn't get a computer camp.
Outside.
I bet we could go to computer camp as adults. There's like summer camps for adults you can go to.
No, we did.
There's a space camp for adults, but anyway.
We used to program in C, and so like our free time, we didn't go outside and play tennis. We took our computers and we did LAN parties. So we played like what was it? Starfield, Starcraft.
I assume Starcraft because Starfield is the new one.
All that kind of stuff. So that's what we did. And you just basically kind of create a internetwork and you just played.
Huh. That's cool.
Yeah, you had to bring a Switch. Look, Command & Conquer. That's something that you played too.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, so you had to bring not a Nintendo Switch, but a network Switch, plug everything in. And also you could do this, not only do you do this with PCs, I also remember very explicitly of like people doing this with their Xbox and playing Halo. So you got a Switch, bunch of cables, plugged in Xboxes together, and you could have up to 16 people playing Halo 2. It's ridiculous.
And you had to like not shower for 2 days. Yeah.
Not a
that was questionable with kids that did not shower.
I do remember my first LAN party. The guy who was my manager, Kevin, at Babbage's, he was like, "We're gonna go play Duke Nukem at like Rupp Arena or something." Like they had some like things that they had rented out. So everyone brought their computer, and like this isn't before TCP/IP. This was IPX, and everyone brought their computer, and we played Duke Nukem till like 4 a.m. And me, I was a console gamer. I had never seen anything like this, but it blew my mind that these computers could talk to each other and play this 3D game together and use a mouse and keyboard rather than the controller. It was amazing. It was like, okay, maybe they're starting with this PC gaming thing.
Yep.
I remember toward the end of the LAN war era was when I started working at the library, and they let me design my own computer to buy, and I just basically got a very top of the line laptop. Do you remember that Dell laptop I had? And you guys were bringing your big cases to the LAN war, and I'd bring my laptop, and everybody was like, "What the hell?" And it was awesome.
Yeah, whenever you have to take 2 trips in from the car to the party because you got to bring all your stuff, and then you're watching your friend over here.
That huge ass tower.
Yeah, and then there's Dan over here just carrying his laptop. I'm like,
I remember my computer power was so humongous and heavy and thick. It had like 2 Voodoo 2s in it. Oh, it was great. It was great. I'm running out of power. I need to find a power source. Be right
quick. Oh, see, now I want to be able to have the ability to go back in time strictly so that we can take Maddie to a LAN party.
Yeah.
And experience like an old school LAN party.
Why don't we just have an old school LAN party?
Because I don't even think I have an Ethernet adapter. No, I don't.
I've only moved 3 times since then. You still have your box of cables and miscellaneous junk that you refuse to get rid of.
Oh no, I do have some Ethernet cables. I don't think I have an Ethernet adapter for this MacBook.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah. I mean, we'd all have to go buy 20-year-old PCs.
Yeah.
You can figure it out.
I mean, they're probably pretty cheap now.
If you can even.
I'd say it's probably hit the other side of that curve.
Yeah, I was gonna say they might actually be expensive
retro
collector's
tech,
items now.
That's
Yeah.
true. Yeah, you
Yeah.
got that retro tech.
Yeah. Like we got to go 486. You know.
All right, that's gonna be some homework
I
to try to
remember
figure out
them too.
how can we emulate the vibe and
of a LAN
feeling,
party?
the atmosphere of a LAN party.
I
Yeah.
mean, we just all connect to the Wi-Fi, I guess.
That's
I mean,
true.
that's kind of it, but it's got to be a lot more hassle, Maddie. Like
There's
you
a way
got to have the anxiety of like walking in with all your stuff and not being able to hook it up quick enough. And meantime, you're seeing your friends already playing the games that you want to jump in on, and you're like, I'm still trying to get my stupid thing working.
Andrew, you program a virus, and everybody who's coming to the LAN party has to install this virus, and it just periodically interrupts your wireless connection, or makes your video card stop working, or some other LAN party bull hooking situation that you had to deal with live and on the fly.
This
I
is
like
where
Josh's.
I wish
Yep,
that
I like
somebody
Josh's
had-
suggestion here too. We do it in Omar's basement.
Yeah. I wish. See, here's the thing: if we all had VR headsets, there's no way somebody hasn't built this scenario in VR chat already.
Yes.
People do that. Like they'll build these little rooms. They're supposed to be like they're like nostalgia rooms. So like they'll recreate their old bedroom with like all the stuff they would have in there. We could literally like actually with a CRT inside the space. Like that's something.
That was
Just get on IRC and chat with each other.
Yeah.
I love this. Oh, Rob didn't get his power adapter fast enough.
That's how it be.
All right. We will make that a thing. I like this idea.
Yeah.
And what we're doing right now, I remember in computer camp, like one of the instructors or counselors went to another room, hooked up the computer, and he's like, guys, this is the future. I'm talking from the next room over. This will be a thing. That was one of our like demonstrations. God,
Yep.
I feel so old now.
Dan, if you remember, we had a telecommunications class in college that did the same thing. Like half of our class was, I think, in some room on the other side of campus, maybe.
Oh, they were at U of L.
Oh, they were in a different city. Oh, wow. Ooh. Yeah. Big time tech.
Okay.
Curtis
I mean,
Potter.
but going back to that, like I regularly tell Warren or other children who don't want to listen to me about our first telecommunication connection when we were in high school, and we're able to use Telnet to talk to each other in Notepad.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
To chat in Notepad before chat was a thing.
Oh my God, I forgot about that. Yes. So
that was a formative moment, man, and you forgot about it.
I see a confused look on somebody's face. So yeah. Oh my gosh, that was so great. Yeah, it was like, imagine you don't have chat applications, but you have a shared like note in your Apple Notes or something like that.
Yeah.
And so you can both type in at the same time, right? So yeah, like literally Dan would type something, and then I would like hit enter and then type back to him. And like that's the way we were chatting, because there was no chatting back then. I mean, there was,
Yeah,
but not,
like you directly
That
dialed
was
in
around the time of
like
AIM that came out.
Mm-hmm. That's a
I
good
grew up
one.
with all the instant messengers and chat rooms and stuff, which and a lot of forums. I was on forums a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I did a lot of things on the internet.
Did anybody play like Moose, like the text-based, like you type in like quaff stuff, like the Moose, and what were they called? Oh, I can't remember. There was like an Enders Game one.
At Landmores?
No, these were like you basically join a group and like I was part of an Enders game. It was basically like a text-based adventure that multiple people could play together.
Oh, yeah. So you're talking
called?
about BBS games.
Yeah,
right?
but I think they were called
Mud. Mud is the original.
Mud. Oh, yes.
Nerd.
Barren Realms Elite.
Barren Realms Elite, yes. Usurper, Legend of the Red Dragon.
Oh,
Oh my God, I remember these
games
games.
have never gotten better from that.
I wish I could go back and play these.
I guarantee. In
There's
fact, there's no
available.
guarantee. Mods are still out there.
A Barren Realm server at some point in the last 10 years.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Yeah, that's the only thing you can go do, Tina. You can go find mods. They're still out there.
Man,
Even though this wasn't part of my childhood, it was before me, but like I love watching people play the like are they called FMV games where they have like real actors in games. They use like a very weird like blue screen. And like they're point and clicks, you like
games.
huh?
Sewer Shark, Night Trap,
games.
VCR games.
Time Bandit, Space Ace.
I love watching
Dragon's Lair.
those because you're so like
Night
the horror
Trap.
ones are so weird. They're so weird. And the way you had to shoot them is really weird too. They were like, yeah, most of this like none of this was real near me. We just had to pretend we knew where it was. Like so
Mad Dog McCree. Oh yeah,
love it.
Yeah, that's what we should do. We should talk about old, like transitioning video game technology. We're like, hey, this doesn't really work, but we're going to do it anyway. Laserdisc games and
it laid a
FMV
foundation for future games. Let's be real. Like you had to chuck through some like mess to get where we are now.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, it's a learning process. Sanctification is a process.
See, that's why that'd be a fun video discussion.
I was talking to a youth very recently, and they were like, Sonic Adventure was a terrible game. And I started to get really upset, like internally, because at the time, Sonic Adventure was an amazing breakthrough game. Music, graphics, and all that. But recently, I played at the last Video Game Armageddon / Central Kentucky old school video game interactive derby. You can come up with what that actually stands for. And I was like, children, play this game, play Sonic Adventure. And they were like, Daddy, can we stop playing this? It's not very fun. I'm like, how are you talking about this? But like back then, in order to get to where we are now, you had to learn things like how to make a camera work, how to do controls in 3D, how to like position things, how to do like goal posting and like guidance and things like that. So like I could hear what the person was saying. Like, okay, yeah, if you look back, Sonic Adventure wasn't that great, but at the time, in the year of our Lord 9999, it was an amazing breakthrough.
You had
but
to
get to where we are, we had to go back to
Super Mario.
Yeah, well, actually, Mario 64 still holds, but like that's Nintendo. Of course,
it's still kind of creepy too. Like there's sort of like a uncanny valley with some of these older games that you're like, it was really fun, but it's kind of creepy now.
Well, and now that's great though, because people are a lot of like YouTube horror people, this analog horror, right? They take like N64 graphics or polygon like from PS1 graphics, and they do this whole like, oh, I found a video game I've never heard of, and it turns this whole horror story. They build all that stuff around it. It's great. It's really creative. It's 10 and I'm sleepy.
I have also noticed that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dan, I want to get your opinion on this, but we can talk about this another time. I got one of these.
Isn't it the greatest thing you've ever seen in your entire life?
Yes, it is! We should talk about this later.
All right.
Oh, and Omar's not here, but Omar would also do the same thing if he saw this. So.
Oh, that's cute.
Mega Man. That was cute.
All right, folks. Lovely to see everybody. Lovely to talk about these geeky things that we get a chance to talk about.
Sign us off, Andrew.
Sign us off. I'm signing us off. All right, y'all. This was a lot of fun. Good catching up. I'm, again, just like ecstatic that we got to watch Superman. And we should pick the next thing. Like, be thinking about the next thing that, like, one of us here hasn't seen that is, like, near and endearing to the rest of us. And, yeah.
Probably something I haven't seen.
Probably. But, who knows? I don't know. There's a lot of stuff I haven't seen. Who knows? Anyway. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for joining in the chat. Y'all, I've been reading through these comments, and they are seriously taking me down nostalgia lane, so this was fun.
Yeah, no kidding.
Good to see everybody.
See you guys.
Cheers.
Bye, guys.
Adios.